Yeah, but
I've never been the same since I had a child. So for someone to tell me that after I just pushed out a human being, had a fucking blood transfusion, I'm going through so many emotional changes, and
You think that
you think I give a fuck about my body? I'm grateful for what I got from my child. I'm grateful for the
regulate her
scars.
brain.
I'm trying to get right because now I have someone that I'm going to continue to be responsible for the rest of my fucking life, and all I want is a little bit of support.
you know what Erin usually
But guess
says?
what everybody wants to do? Walk the fuck out. You want to walk out because it's too hard for you, because you can't sit here and just ease my pain or coddle the fucking child while I'm sad, because I just went through all of this walking around and wobbling and pushing out a fucking child, maybe got cut up, and you can't even just sit the fuck down for a second and just understand that I'm going through a change and I'm in pain right now, and every man is too fucking weak to stay there. You got to walk out. You know how many fucking men have walked out of their kids' lives because of that? A woman should not make you leave your child, ever. Rico, we would not even be having this conversation if men were present. If they wanted to be present, they would be present. We would not be having this conversation if men were present.
No, we're not going with that.
In these households, we wouldn't have so many broken men. We wouldn't have so many broken people. The fact that we have to have this conversation surrounded around not present fathers.
Thank you.
The fact that we have so many people incarcerated, we have so many people that have been raised by just women, we have so many people who are hurting because their dads were not present, and the fact that you can say, oh, they're hurting, fuck, they're hurting. Go be present. Go take care of your child. Go help this woman that you probably left while she was in postpartum, which is the hardest thing to fucking deal with. There's no excuse for that. You created a human being, and you're gonna tell me, oh, I feel bad. I miss my child.
You don't feel
That's
that
the
bad.
weakest, wackest shit I've ever heard in my life.
What we're not gonna do.
Yes, we are.
We're not gonna do is we're not gonna allow you to sit here and we're not gonna allow you to sit here and give women an out as if they don't make it difficult for men to even be in I didn't talk while you talk. Matter of fact, give me the mic. Look.
You gonna make feedback, maybe.
So what we're not gonna do is give women an out and make it seem like women don't make it difficult for some men to see their kids. There are men who try hard as hell to see their kids, and that woman is just a pity, envious, mad, hurt woman.
I agree. Can I say something?
No, you can't. Well, I'm not done. Right? So like, we gotta also think like, all right, cool. Some men feel like, first of all, I don't even get the chance, or I don't have the resources to even win my child over. If a mother decides that she's not going to allow that father to see the child for whatever reason, because she got mad because he didn't buy diapers that 1 week, now he has to go 2 weeks. And it's like women be using kids as pawns. Women be holding their baby hostage and then putting the man through the ringer and then thinking the man's supposed to persevere through years of this dumbass abuse and then think that he's going to be present. At some point, a man is going to be like, yo, I quit. Now, is it wrong? Yeah, for the kid. But is it wrong for the woman to push that on the father and then have the kid suffer? Yes, they're both wrong.
Can I ask one question? Just a follow-up. When the father can't purchase those diapers,
yeah,
what is the baby wearing?
Because she's going to make it happen regardless.
What if she don't have them?
Mama's going to make it happen regardless.
But it's the thing, though. Again, women are awarded babies at birth. It doesn't even matter. So now if we were to say, okay, cool, we completely erase that.
I have an example. So this goes back to what she was saying about the reason why we're even talking about this is because it does happen. The other day on a podcast with Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay, they were talking about, they had Larry Elder on, and he's running for as a presidential candidate as a Republican, and I guess his platform, or a huge part of his platform, is fatherless homes and fathers not being around for their children. And I think the fact that it's even a talking point lends itself to it actually being an issue. Because if it wasn't an issue, I mean, let's be real, nobody would be talking about it. Let's think about it, like avocados. The only way we be talking about avocados is if the price went up, is if a flood or something, or some natural disaster came and messed up the world's crop. You know, like that's the only reason we're talking about it. That's the only reason it's top of mind, because something actually is going on with avocados. You know, so back to Jada's point, the only reason that this is even a point of discussion is because the only reason it's a point of discussion is because it happens, and it happens frequently enough such that a lot of people are impacted.
And I said this, mind you, I said this at 8 at the table 4 years ago. Now niggas be running with this stat. I remember I texted Alan when I found out that America is literally 3 times the amount of single parent households across the entire world on average. The rest of the world averages, I think, 8%, and we average 24% of kids growing up in a single parent household. Only here. First of all, the deadbeat thing is like, especially like the numerics of stats are nowhere near accurate. That's one. 2, what we should do is bring men here who didn't, or who either chose not to be, or who had to go through the ringer, and then the world will know the truth. We need to stop running with this narrative of what we think because of how we feel. The only reason why I speak on it is because I know these men on both sides. The only reason why I speak on it is because I know these men on both sides. I spoke to them on both sides.
You're contradicting yourself.
Well,
It's the exact same thing.
That's what I said.
She's
That's what I
speaking
did.
For the men and women she knows. I'm speaking for the men and women I know, which is why I'm genuinely confused by what you're saying. And she's speaking for the men. Alan, matter of fact, Alan, who isn't agreeing, he's calling you an anomaly, is saying based on his experience.
But realistically, when we look at it right now, it's like, there's been more men fighting to get, like, for example, I actually found this stat out, and I hate doing this with the stat, but it said that, you know how they say the narrative about black men not being present, right? And this was on TikTok, and I forgot exactly what it was, but I do know that it was over 70% of black men are there present for their father, for their kids. Whether or not they see him every week, they at least speak to them 2 to 3 times a week. Right? It was like 78%, but don't quote me. But it was in the 70s.
On TikTok?
Yeah, it was on TikTok. But like it was
I gotta leave. I have to clock out because this is crazy.
It was an article that was posted on TikTok. But then but what ended up happening is when you look at it and you do more research, you'll actually see how, like, especially black men, like, first of all, black men are the #1 fathers when it comes to parenting across the board. We change more diapers than all the other ethnicities. We are there more than all the other ethnicities in America, I'm speaking about. And we are more present with our kids than any other ethnicity in America. You could do the research right now, and you can let me know what you come back with.
I'm going to do it.
But instead of running off what people have said and start running off what we heard 10, 20, 30 years ago, we should actually start to understand that the world is changing, times are changing. So I don't fully align with that. Like, are there people out there who has 6 kids, 4 baby mamas? Yes. I don't know them. I know somebody who might got 3 kids with 2 baby mamas. That is something.
Isn't that a similar ratio?
I mean, it's
the
the ratio, but the amount is still different.
Yeah, but the ratio is what makes them equal.
No, it doesn't,
Yes, it
because
does.
6 kids.
Isn't your mother a teacher?
6 kids and 3 kids are not the same. In
1/3
in
equals
real life,
1/3 and 1/3.
in real life, a kid is
Not
not
how
a
it
number.
works.
A kid is not a
Not
stat.
how it works.
Yes, it is.
Not how it works. It's a
So,
ratio.
But the thing is this: I had a daughter, right?
Right.
I was
Like
dealing.
we said,
Listen,
you are a small
listen.
percentage.
I was dealing with some shit. I didn't even know what postpartum was until I had a
That's
child.
why it was easy to walk out if you don't know.
But thank you. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're not explaining something to a man who has no idea what the hell postpartum is, it's like, I'm not understanding what you're going through. So like, you have to be able to communicate that.
We don't even know.
But you
Exactly.
know, but you know that postpartum exists.
No, a
No,
lot of
you
women
don't. I never
Oh,
thought in my
no.
life that I could ever be depressed. I never,
lot
ever,
of
ever
women
thought.
aren't.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to word it because that's how sick postpartum is. You have the craziest thoughts. The
They didn't give
depression
y'all
is
a postpartum
real.
package?
So if you think that that's the only thing that women think about after having a baby and that her mental isn't going to be completely
so
fucked up,
dumb.
it's fucked up of men.
To even say that.
Did you know that men go through postpartum?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay, so that's fucked up. That you think. No.
what's
Now
fucked up
let me go.
is I
It's
stretch
fucked
my
up that
coochie
you
out
think
and-
a man is gonna have a baby and not know
You don't
and be
understand
able
how
to deal
sick
with
you are
another
right now?
sick woman. Like, this is
You
crazy.
don't see how sick you are right now? This is the
No.
mentality of a man. This is sick of you.
That's sick of you.
You're so sick right now.
At you.
I am someone that is very emotionally regulated, and though I have never had a baby, I would not be surprised if men go through something mentally after having a baby. Is it going to be on the same level as a woman? No, definitely not. But I'm not going to take that away from you that you are going through anything. Rico, don't do like this.
Some women don't go through postpartum.
You can even tell me that men at this day and age don't know that postpartum exists for women. That's pretty crazy because this is something that's been going on for years.
I didn't know.
Come on.
I didn't know. I learned it on the fly.
But this is the thing. I didn't know either. I was like, why am I
No niggas
feeling
talking
like
about
this?
postpartum in their life.
It needs to be a conversation because that is why men are walking out on their women. A lot of men are leaving because they don't understand that a woman is going through her hormones. Everything is changing in your body. And you don't have the support from the person who put the fucking thing in your body. And so now the relationship is just over. And now you're stuck with a fucking baby. Not me. I be talking shit, but it ain't my story.
That's not our fault that we don't know.
And that's why I said in that period of time, that's when everybody breaks up.
And that was one of them. I was like, what the fuck is going on in my life?
It makes sense. And that's why I said relationships end during that time. Because men cannot handle it.
Listen, it makes a lot of sense because your life is changing. This is what she just said. It makes a lot of sense. However, what she's saying is that your existence is changing. Your brain chemistry,
everything,
your body, the way your eyes work. It's literally your existence.
So when you said my anxiety, my connection with my child, my connection with my man, my confusion, it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah,
I've never been the same since I had a child. So for someone to tell me that after I just pushed out a human being, had a fucking blood transfusion, I'm going through so many emotional changes, and
you think that
you think I give a fuck about my body? I'm grateful for what I got from my child. I'm grateful for the
regulate her brain.
I'm trying to get right because now I have someone that I'm going to continue to be responsible for the rest of my fucking life, and all I want is a little bit of support.
You know what Erin usually says?
But guess what everybody wants to do? Walk the fuck out. You want to walk out because it's too hard for you because you can't sit here and just ease my pain or coddle the fucking child while I'm sad because I just went through all of this walking around and wobbling and pushing out a fucking child, maybe got cut up, and you can't even just sit the fuck down for a second and just understand that I'm going through a change and I'm in pain right now, and every man is too fucking weak to stay there. You got to walk out. You know how many fucking men have walked out of their kids' lives because of that? A woman should not make you leave your child, ever. And you are one of the 25%. Congratulations, but we got a lot of fucking dads that are not standing up.
It was 25. It was 75%.
I will punch you today.
It was 75%. A man who is actually with the woman throughout the pregnancy, right? His body is realizing that there's a baby coming as well. And his body actually holds on to more calories and builds more fat to prepare for less sleep. This is not a joke. This is real life shit. Like, this is real biology. So like, so when you talk about your body, they say guys gain weight, right? Baby weight, guys gain baby weight. What do you think? What do you think the baby weight is coming from?
Y'all eating from what we eat.
No, that's not why. Y'all not even really eating. Like, real men figure it out. The onus, right? You can't put the onus on the man that for him to not understand your body going through changes when the man doesn't have a woman's body. We don't talk about postpartum. We don't talk about body changes at all ever in our entire existence. Now, if I sit here and I flip the switch and I say, do you know that men go through postpartum? And you say no. And I say, okay, well, that's selfish of you to not understand that the man is going through a life change himself and you still expect him to understand you and he don't even understand him. This is crazy. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that you should leave your child. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that you cannot get mad at a man and a woman for not being able to find a balance or create a balance through times where both of their mental and lifestyle is changing. And that's why they fall apart.
Rico and Lonnie, shut up. I don't think that it's selfish if a woman does not know or is not educated about men having postpartum, because not a lot of people know about that.
You think we know about? Okay.
No, but it is more common for a woman to have postpartum, but you can educate. I'm going through a time, I'm feeling like I have postpartum. You can communicate that with your partner. No problem. Not everyone's going to know that about a man. Now, this dad bod, I really just want to say where I think it honestly comes from. I think that not all male partners get dad bod when they have a kid. And I definitely don't think that it comes from what you think that it comes from. I think that when you are in a relationship and you have a wife or you have a partner and you guys are growing a family, if it's one kid, 2 kids, a couple of kids at this point, you're not staying fit for any reason. You're letting yourself go because you already got your person. You guys already got your partner. And I feel like that's what men with dad bods are. I don't think that people just, I have a baby, so I'm like formulating dad bod.
Nah, it's baby fat. What else you got to understand that it's not always just, the blame is not always on one side. And what we're doing is you can't minimalize one side's experience because you might have the upper hand or you might be going through more than the other. What Jada was saying and what I am saying in response to that is that you cannot expect somebody to understand you when they're not educated about you and you're not educated about them. No one is going to be able to understand each other at that moment.
The age of information.
Well, I feel like
that's an excuse. Come on.
Nobody knows
But
about
that's the
it.
thing. I was saying that too.
Nobody knows about it.
I was saying that too, though. We don't know.
Information.
Nobody knows.
People don't understand postpartum.
So then everybody's to blame.
Guys.
So everybody's to blame. The thing is this, we try to make an excuse for somebody to have a certain level of knowledge. That's what we're trying to do, right? No.
Really,
You're trying, what we're trying to do is saying if you don't possess this knowledge about this situation, that's because you chose not to know about it. And I think that's where we have it wrong. It's not that we are in the age of information. Information is something that has to be sought after first.
You don't accept excuses for nothing, but for this you will?
It's not an excuse. If you don't know, you can't know. If you don't know better, how the hell are you going to do better? If I sat here and we just figured out right now that 1 out of 4 men go through postpartum, right?
I can't even believe that this is something that I've experienced, and I'm sure
we're not comparing them to be the same.
Anyone who has a kid has experienced this, and I can't even believe it's not taken serious.